Hey, it's Joe Frick, and today I want to talk to you about why it's important to report a car crash to your own insurance company, whether you caused the car crash or not. Now, first, your own insurance company generally has a right to know whether you've been in a car crash, whether you caused it or not. So it doesn't matter if he caused it, the other person caused it, or you caused it. They generally have the right to know whether you've got a car crash. Second, you might have medical payment coverage on your own insurance company to pay for medical bills that are piling up for the treatment that you're receiving due to the car crash. It's very important to know that the other person's insurance company is not going to pay for any of those medical bills until the case is fully resolved, whether that be 8 to 12 weeks from the date of the crash, but more likely it's going to be closer to that 6 months to a year range, even if it's a small crash. Now, there's a lot of things that can affect the timing of how soon you can get a case settled with an insurance company. First and foremost, how serious your injuries are. If you have kind of some minor injuries, such as connective tissue injuries, such as whiplash or lower back muscle sprains and strains, you're looking at 8 to 12 weeks of chiropractic care. The more severe injuries are broken bones, or if you have to have surgery, it could be over a year after you're done completed your treatment and kind of gotten better from your injuries related to the crash. But in any event, if you have medical payment coverage on your auto insurance policy, they will pay for the bills up to the limit of the policy that you have during the time frame that you're trying to resolve the case with the person that hit you's insurance company. So if you don't report the claim or report the crash to your own insurance company, they won't open a medical payments claim, and they won't pay any of those medical bills until you report it to your own insurance company. So the sooner you report it, the better. Now, the other important reason that you would want to report the crash right after the collision is if you have health insurance and you do have that medical payments coverage. The health insurance is not going to kick in most of the time until they know and receive some sort of documentation from your auto insurance company stating that you've already used the full amount of your medical payments coverage. They pretty much take the position that if you have the medical payments coverage, they need to pay first before the health insurance company is going to pay. So your health insurance is also a big benefit to the injuries, because if the other person's insurance company is not going to pay till the end, your health insurance will pay for those bills. But like I said, they usually don't kick in until after they receive notice and documentation that your medical payments coverage is completely exhausted. And the other reason that is very important to report the crash to your insurance company is you might have an underinsured motorist policy or an uninsured motorist policy that will give you access to benefits if the other person doesn't have enough insurance or doesn't have insurance at all. Now, most of the time, your own auto insurance underinsured policy has language in it that says that, one, you have to report the crash to your own insurance company. Two, they actually have to receive notice, and they have to give you permission to settle with that other person's insurance company. Now, if you don't get permission to settle with that other person's insurance company, especially if it's below the policy limits for that other person's policy, you will probably waive your claim to those underinsured motorist benefits. And I always highly suggest that you contact your representative, see if you have that underinsured motorist policy. If you don't, get it, because most of the time it's cheaper than your actual premium. So check to make sure if you have that. Report the crash right after you have it. Make sure you get your MedPay policy if you have it. If the other person doesn't have any insurance at all, or if they don't have enough to cover your damages, for example, if you have to have surgery on your shoulder or your knee, that's going to cost $40,000 to $90,000 depending on how bad the surgery is. And if the other person only has the state minimum, which is generally $25,000, that's not going to be enough to cover your medical bills, not let alone your pain and suffering damages. So if you have a higher underinsured motorist policy, they can cover those damages, and they will pay those benefits out based on the medical bills and the pain and suffering damages, like it was the other person. So, key points. Report it because they have a right to know. See if you got that MedPay policy so they can start paying your medical bills while the insurance claim's going on. And check to see if you have a UIM claim, and always check your insurance policy to see what requirements that the insurance company is placing on you before you can tap into those benefits. All right, thank you.